everybody, my name is Benjamin Bloom, and with absolutely no notice whatsoever we are going live with the Championship review show. Let me even get into the middle of the shot. There we go, hopefully you can see me. Now, ridiculous day of goings on in the Championship yesterday. I like WWE as much as the next guy, but seems like Vince McMahon is writing the Championship storylines at the moment. So a couple of ridiculous late drama games at the top and some very big wins down at the bottom. Leeds, I can't even believe what's happened in these first two to read out. So Leeds win 3-2 for the second game in a row. They go 1-0 up. Blackburn equalise, then Leeds go 2-1 down on 90 minutes, and Kemar Roof scores 2 goals in stoppage time to give Leeds their 7th win in a row. Pick your angle for that. What a game at the Lane. That's going to be a Blades fan coming on to that one. Did sound like a good one, didn't it? So Leeds just can't seem to not win at the moment. Incredible scenes, something in the air there. They move 3 clear of Norwich. They remain 6 clear of West Brom. I suppose from a Leeds point of view, the team you're watching really is West Brom. I think a lot of these teams, you know, give them the League Championship and they'll love it, but really top 2 into the Premier League, that is all that matters. So really you're watching 3rd place. Norwich and Leeds just don't give up. No, they don't, Tom. You are indeed absolutely right about that. Roof's 8th goal in his last 10. Norwich are so lucky. We'll talk about that in a minute. Bad game for Ipswich. Yes, we'll obviously come on to that. Hernandez, 5 assists in his last 4 games. What a player he is. I always say that. Rovers drop into 14th. Difficult couple of games from them playing the top 2, one after the other. But Leeds, 7 wins on the trot. They are absolutely storming. Superb total ahead of those. Nick Brooker, we don't know when we're beaten. Not luck, fitness. I don't know if he's talking about Leeds or Norwich. There could be referring to both. Pesky Leeds, incredible scenes at Carrow Road. Fully rate what you're doing, pal. Good work. Thanks, Dan. Let's go on to Carrow Road then. Here we go. Okay, Norwich, Nick. Right. So yeah, here we go on to Norwich. Just ridiculous. And honest to God, picture the scene. I am walking out of QPR. I look at my phone. Norwich are losing 3-1. Okay, and I just somehow knew. I kept pressing refresh on who scored, and then do you know what as well happened? It was the only game left where they were still playing. I'm like, no, they're going to score. They're going to score. It's just what's been happening. If you remember in my predictions, I predicted Norwich would win with a 99th minute Pookie goal. So I wasn't actually that far out. So let's talk about this. Norwich are 3-0 down on 77 minutes. Been asked about Birmingham, going to Birmingham. Ben is asking about whether Norwich will drop. We're going to talk about that in a sec. So Norwich get a deflected goal on 77 minutes and then score on the 94th and 98th minute. I've written down all Norwich's late goals this season. So Hernandez versus Birmingham, 94th minute for a draw. Vrancic versus Wigan, 86th minute for a win. Closer versus Forest, 84th minute for a win. Millwall, Rhodes on 92 to equalise, Pookie on 97 to win. Bolton, Pookie on 93 to win. Pookie on 86 versus Blackburn for a win, and now Hernandez on 94 and 98. Dor on Tour. Now, Mr. Dor is an excellent YouTuber, and he was in the ground. So if you're some kind of masochist, watch Mr. Dor's video of probably him struggling. I think Nick has seen it. Great YouTuber there. Go and subscribe to him anyway. Villa till I die. Why do refs always give Norwich so much injury time? Waghorn's situation at Derby. We'll come on to both of those. But seriously, I'm really interested, and I'm looking for balanced Norwich fans to answer this question. Surely this is not a sustainable way to get promoted. You can't go another 23 games being in not great positions, like literally minutes from the end of games. Sometimes against weaker teams, shipping goals, and in extraordinary circumstances. I know it must be amazing to watch and amazing to be there, but surely that is not a sustainable way to get promoted. I know Man United under Ferguson used to do it a lot, but it wasn't every single week. This is absolutely incredible. Regardless of the kind of philosophical and mental thing at Norwich, it was actually a bad day for them yesterday, because if you look at the numbers, they lost 2 points on Leeds and they lost 2 points on West Brom in this seemingly three-horse race up at the top there. And the situation actually is now, West Brom play Norwich in 3 games, I think. If West Brom can match Norwich and then beat them in that game, Nick says, why can't it be sustainable? Tactical fix. It can be sustainable, Nick. I've just never ever seen it done before. It just seems an extraordinary way to be up there. I'm asking the question, looking for an answer rather than that. Sean says, Norwich fan here, is absolutely not sustainable. We're really struggling with injuries right now. It just seems a bit too chaotic. Rob, we have a few injured as well now, Ben. We have spirit, youth and confidence. That's all we need. Radio Derby asked about Waghorn coming on yesterday. Lampard lost it with interesting. Tom says it's not sustainable, but we dominate games and give away stupid goals. See, that's interesting. Villa till I die says they get 10 minutes of injury time every game. I agree with the point there on Norwich. If they cut out the goals, they'll win these games easily. But look at the teams it's happening against. It's not happening against... I know Forest were a decent team on a little bit of a bad run. It's happening against Bolton, Millwall, and late goals against Wigan as well. So we shall see. But if West Brom can keep up same pace, they've got superior goal difference. They beat Norwich in 3 games times. What I will say as well, in Norwich's next 6 games, they go away to Leeds, away to West Brom, and host Derby and Sheffield United. I will say here right now, if Norwich are still in the top 2 after those 6 games, they deserve everything they get. They deserve automatic, because that would be incredible. We shall see how it all goes. Obviously, after that, they've got the Titanic East Anglian Derby. Great team spirit at Carrow Road, but you're right, defending is a concern. That said, Forest shithouse in an attacking performance. I was gutted when Norwich scored that equaliser. If Norwich go up playing like this, they'd go straight back down. I don't think they'd care, to be honest. They'd take the money. Next 6 games will define Norwich season. Agreed. Really tricky run. If they're still in and about it after those 6 games, the truth is Norwich could have an incredible season and not get top 2 purely because Leeds are ridiculous and West Brom are on a good run. As a Norwich fan, I'd say Ipswich need to bring in experience. We'll come on to Ipswich. So really interesting time. I joked in my prediction, home win and a 99th minute goal. Seriously, watch it back. That was in my prediction. So anyway, I've done 8 minutes on the first 2 games, and we're entertaining here soon. So I must speed up. West Brom, really good day for West Brom. 2 for Rodriguez, 12 from the season. I put it to anybody watching the stream. Coming on to Borough in a minute, Stephen. I think Rodriguez is the best all-round striker in the league. Not just finisher, powerful, skillful, really, really good player. We're coming on to Hull as well. They are bang in form. Another Norwich fan in here. Rewatched the first bit there. We've just done Norwich, big style there. West Brom are 3 points behind Norwich, and this big home game, January the 12th, West Brom versus Norwich. If Norwich were to get promoted, folk style of football, it's run out. I was interested to read that. Ben, how bad was the QPR game? I've done a review of the QPR game, and you'll tell by my tone of voice on there it was really bad. So West Brom looking very, very handy. We said they had winnable games over this period. I think it's Wednesday next, possibly. Wigan now 19th, 4 points off the drop zone, 4th straight defeat. I wonder whether Wigan would get sucked down. Rotherham seemed to have been sucked down yesterday. We'll talk about them in a minute. Wonder if Wigan could. I said home win on West Brom, and the inconsistency of Sheffield United, Derby and Borough over the past few weeks means that it does look like those 3 away at the top setting a Really, really hectic pace. I think Sean said in the comments though, Norwich pretty much guaranteed playoffs. They'd have to be really bad now, and some other teams would have to be really good for that not to happen. Right, here we go. Sheffield United derby. I said I didn't want to touch this one with a barge pole because I couldn't predict it. 3-1, big win for Sheffield United. Feels like a really important one there, especially if you're the money men behind there. Rob says, can see West Brom leapfrogging us and Leeds. Think Leeds might drop off as well. Interesting. Would certainly seem like one of those two teams. Surely this incredible form they're on at the moment might stop. So the Blades get the win. Sharp with the opener, 14th in all competitions for him. Absurd free kick from Wilson. That was like, normally it's either a curler or a smashed one. That was like both. That seemed impossible to save, that free kick. Brilliant goal from Wilson. McGoldrick and Clark. I say it's significant because the Blades just haven't done well against the top 6 teams. They look like they can finish in the playoffs if they play to their potential, but then there's no point getting in the playoffs if you can't beat the teams around you. So this is really good for Sheffield United. Derby with 2 points from the last 3 games, and I mentioned it. Sheffield United, Derby and Borough. Wilson, top player in my opinion. Yeah, I think I agree with that one. Where's he on loan from? I think it's Liverpool as well, so might be a chance for someone to sign him because these loan players never seem to actually go back and get in the teams, however well they do in the Championship. Derby, yeah, inconsistent, and it's Borough, Derby and Sheffield United. Liverpool, yeah, thank you. Just not in the same form as West Brom, Norwich and Leeds at the top there. Nick says, will Norwich clap Paul Lambert when we play them? I doubt it, Nick. So, yeah, I predicted a away win in that one. I had that totally the wrong way around. Encouraging for the Blades and for the money team. I think someone's just commented. Sheffield United, the only team not spending millions up there because of amazing management team. I would suspect the spend of Sheffield United is way, way lower than probably all of the top. You have to go down to, but Birmingham have even spent money previous season to get into the embargo. Interesting. If we get someone like Brickcutter, who's he going to replace? Chalobah or Dance? We'll come on to Ipswich. Player that changes every week. Yeah, very interesting. So Borough, what an absolute shitstorm at Borough at the moment. Borough nil, Wednesday 1. So first we need to say Steve Bruce probably coming to Wednesday, but Lee Bullen has made his life a hell of a lot easier by winning these 2 games. Nice 8-point cushion reach with the only goal there. Adore on tour. I love Sheffield United keepers celebrating at the Derby fans. Naughty when keepers do that. I think that's Henderson, was it? Borough continue to flounder. They've gone from very solid automatic candidates and just been wiped out, really. 9 points off second place Norwich, 5 points in the last 6 games. I wrote this down. In that 9 games, Leeds have gone from 9 points behind Borough to 10 points ahead. Thoughts on the situation of Borough at the moment? Borough fans stating Pulis out already. Well, what we can say is Borough's next game's against Ipswich. So I think if they lose at home to Ipswich, that could be curtains for Mr. Pulis. We're going to put something up on the feed that Harry, Hendo taking the piss out of Derby fans bouncing. I think that's obviously what happened at Bramall Lane. Pulis is a football dinosaur now. Sadly, they need to get rid of him, says Rob. Not my words, Rob's words there. But yeah, not popular there, Pulis. And there's something going to come out that I did with Harry from Bath yesterday. It's a Blue Monday thing, but we're previewing the Borough game. And he says he thinks that Pulis has blunted their attack with the with the overly cautious football. Interesting. Am I after Borough at the weekend? I don't know. I've got a couple of days with my parents first, so we'll find out what happens there. Probably make a decision on the day there. I predicted home win for Borough. Wrong. Again, the players at Borough look like they lack motivation. They do look like they're hiding behind the negative football as an excuse, don't they? Birmingham 2, Stoke 0. Birmingham put an end to Stoke's long unbeaten run. 10 games unbeaten. Look like some proper finishing there. Magoma and Bogle with a couple of stonkers. Birmingham up to 7th. I'm so impressed with Birmingham. Look, 31 points in 16. Someone said Pulis versus Bielsa. Football has moved on. From what I saw at Villa Park, I probably agree with that, seeing what Leeds are doing. Brilliant finishing from Magoma and Bogle. 31 points in the last 16 for Birmingham. That's good playoff form. Look, I thought it was going to be too much for people like Birmingham and QPR chasing there, but like I said, 4th to 6th place, not doing it at the moment. And Forest have dropped out of there. Villa, little tweak. We'll talk about Villa there. Yeah, who says maybe Birmingham can't do it? Assuming they don't get a points deduction. So consistent. If they keep injury free, certainly going to get a good performance. John says Blues were great. Stoke looked awful given the players they have. Expectation there. If Pulis goes, I hear Mark Hughes might be available. I think the Borough fans are going to want Mr. Jokanovic if he's available after what he did at Fulham. That would be chalk and cheese style. Some of the players might find that interesting there. I said draw Birmingham versus Stoke. Birmingham surprised me again. Bubbly baby. Hi Ben. Love your videos and reviews. Thank you very much. Very, very kind. QPR versus Ipswich. Oh God, this was depressing. Check in the feed of my YouTube videos. You'll see my review from yesterday. Ipswich were hopeless yesterday. QPR didn't even have to play that well. And it was a 3-0 one. Very similar to the game at Millwall between Hurst and Lambert where Klug was caretaker. Really, really bad. More detail on Ipswich in that video, and all the results went as badly as they possibly could have. Birmingham's problem is lack of strength in depth. Yeah, I agree with that. If they lose form, that's Dan. Borough expensive day out. Yeah, QPR do look decent at the moment. Interesting team. I think McLaren's done a decent job there. McLaren was linked with Ipswich at the start of in the summertime. I'm sure, given what we know about Paul Hurst's reign now, we all would have taken that. I predicted a home win in QPR versus Ipswich, and obviously that happened. Swansea Villa, Swansea 0, Villa 1. Big win for Villa as well. Someone's just asking me, Paul Hurst could go to Borough. There we go. Got to feel for you Ipswich fans. Thought it might turn around, but too big a gap. Was a bad day yesterday. I think Ben asked me, or Matt possibly asked me about who's going down. We'll talk about that at the bottom. We're going to mention Grealish as well, Liam as well. Will Villa go up? Let's talk some Villa then, because I think their fans were a bit sad after the Leeds defeat, but I wouldn't be worrying too much if I was a Villa fan. I think they just had an incredibly hard run of games. Seemed to play all of the top 6, only lost one of them. I know they dropped to 11th, but look at the points, they're not that far off. And I just think anyone with Villa's front configuration, those players, Abraham, Balassi, McGinn, Adoma, I know Grealish is not around at the moment. Thanks Hayden, from a Hull fan. We'll talk about Hull in a minute. Jack Grealish is coming to Ipswich. Oh my God, imagine. We probably still even get relegated with him in there. God. So Hourihane filling the Grealish spot, gets the goal at the moment. I wouldn't worry if I was a Villa fan. Grealish to leave in January. Isn't even injured currently, says John. Controversial there. Don't sue me, not my words. John's there. Swansea hanging in the top half. Crazy inconsistent. Their 10th defeat of the season. I said away when I thought Villa would do that. Watch out for Villa. I think they're coming. Have Bolton players been paid yet? That might be an interesting one for Bolton, whether they might face any kind of sanctions against not paying the players there. That would be very, very interesting. I'm sure the Norwich fans would club together to pay the Bolton players just to make sure Ipswich stayed bottom. Bristol City 1, Brentford 1. Both sides stay where they are, 13th and 18th. Third draw in a row means Bristol City unbeaten in 6. Brentford will happily take 2. Bolton players must have been played if they won a game. Interesting. Pisorno, beautiful from Mopai. Well done, Mopai, as well, because Brentford have been rubbish and he's now up to 15. I know he scored a lot earlier on under Smith, but still consistently popping them in there. I said home win there. Thought Bristol City would get that one. They did not. Right, let's talk about Hull. Now we love you, really, Brent. There you go. Hull for the playoffs, someone says. They're in better than playoff form at the moment. Hull are in automatic form. So take a bow, Hull, I've said. Preston, they swapped spots there into 15th. Third win in a row, 21 points in 10 games for Hull. That is automatic form. Not quite ridiculous Leeds form, but certainly I think they're above most of the top 6, and only sort of West Brom and Leeds and Norwich, I think. Actually, maybe not even have that many points. Going to start a GoFundMe for the Bolton players. There you go. Might be an expensive one knowing what football players get paid there. How Steve Bruce let Elphick go to Hull is beyond me. Having seen the back four they lined up, yes, I agree with that. How bad will Hull miss Elphick if he's recalled to Villa like the media are saying? That could be an interesting one. Smart me up if you're a Hull fan, how influential Elphick is there. But Hull, absolutely brilliant. Atkins and the players, they're up to 15th. They've just absolutely stormed it. And yes, if this was the first 10 games of the season, they'd easily be in the top 3 and we'd be saying, are they going to get promoted? So amazing form for them. Interesting one, Alan Brown for Preston. That's his 8th of the season, only 23 years old as well. I wonder whether someone might want to buy him in January from Preston. Certainly they've sold Hugel at this point last season, didn't they? So down we go to these two massive games at the bottom. Bolton beat Rotherham 2-1. Massive win because for 3 reasons. So Bolton end their horrible winless run, moved themselves to 1 point of safety, and they drag Rotherham into the middle of it. I wouldn't mind Elphick at Forest, interesting. So they dragged Rotherham down into it. Rotherham they'd kept drawing and not losing and just stayed above the relegation line, hadn't they? So they're now dragged into it. Amiobi with the opener. Volks, who'd been linked with moves away there. I think Norwich were linked with Volks, actually. Gary O'Neill with the winner. How old is Gary O'Neill now? He's been around forever. Rotherham, 1 win in 17. And a couple of the Rotherham commenters on here sound like they're starting to get worried. Have they peaked, and will people like Volks get pilfered in January? We'll see. I predicted this would be a home win, but if you watch the video back, I did just say flip of a coin. Elphick is a quality player at Championship level. I remember him going to Reading with Martin and getting injured immediately in there. Villa had to let Elphick to go to afford wages for Balassi. Interesting. Otsuma is a great player, very skillful. So that might be one that could be taken away from Bolton. Ben, are Wigan in a relegation battle? Matt asks, I think they might be. They're getting dragged down there in horrible form. If only Ipswich could sign Elphick. Yeah, going to be. Having watched that Sunderland documentary, not many people want to come to the bottom team in January, let's just say. So really good win, big win for Bolton, and bad day for Rotherham. I said home win, I got it right. And finally, good day for Millwall. Up 2 places for Millwall, down 2 places for Reading. They finally get a win. Wallace with the only goal on 8 minutes. 2 red cards for Reading in this game, and they were straight reds as well. So I think they're 3-game bans. Not good news for Reading's new manager, who has to deal with defeat, the suspensions, and his side now in the bottom 3, and a transfer window as well. What a nice, easy job. There you go. I'm sure he's getting well paid, but he probably deserves it with that. Millwall's first win in 8, and we know what Millwall are like. They can go with momentum. Rotherham's squad is only worth 7 mil. Hope they managed to avoid relegation. They've clearly worked hard to be where they are, despite the loss. I think we all agree with that. Great documentary. Feel bad for wanting them to go down. No, definitely worth a watch on Sunderland. Millwall were poor, says Jack. That's interesting. So they still got the win. We know Millwall can go on runs, and I'm just looking at. Come on, lad. Who are your top 6 at the end of the season, and who is going down? We'll do that at the end. Do you think we'll stay up? Ward's out for the season. Yes, I've just read that. Grant Ward, cruciate ligament injury. Just a really weird one. Just bashed. Freeman barely even tackled him. I think they possibly impact one, not an actual snappy one there. Bashed. I can see Lambert getting some good players for January, but it looks too late now, says Sean. Do you think Kieran Dowell would suit Sheffield? Now, I saw Kieran Dowell score a brilliant free kick for Forest against Ipswich last year. And my friend Dave, who knows a lot about football, said he looked like Chris Waddle. So, yes, sign him up, Sheffield United. So Reading sucked down into it now, and Millwall playing Ipswich. I predicted ligament damage when I saw him go off on the stretcher. He did get the stretcher treatment there, Ben. Yes, you're right about that. So, good day for Millwall, bad day for Reading. So, talking about the top, I always get asked to predict the top 6. It looks like now Leeds, West Brom and Norwich is just too far ahead not to finish in the top 6. Sheffield United have been a bit inconsistent recently. Sheffield United need bodies. Derby have probably got the quality. Interesting about Waghorn, I'll do some reading on that, because Waghorn obviously was brilliant at Ipswich last season. Having back on loan, please. That would be. But yeah, interesting that Lampard's losing it a little bit there. It would be hard for Lampard in his first season. You have to be savvy up there. Borough not doing great, and then you've got these outsiders. Sean says Leeds, West Brom. Norwich, Sheffield United, Villa, Forest. Oh, there is relegated team as well. You'd think QPR and Birmingham would do well to just be on the edges of it, and Forest have got money. I just can't see Villa not scoring another 30 to 40 points this season. I just, with their attacking players, I can just see Villa getting into it. Be interested to see what happens at Borough. The only three certs seem to be Norwich, Leeds and West Brom, although they'll be disappointed to finish in the playoffs because they're all going for top two. Really hard one to call. I do think there is a glimmer of hope for QPR and Birmingham, but someone says, shut up hippie. Thank you. Really, really nice to see we've got some grown-up watchers here. Ben, will Ipswich stay up this season? LFC winning the league. Mate, you're watching the wrong thread. I don't care about the Premier League and I'm not a hippie. Go away. Yeah, so not sure what's going to happen at the top six. Looking really, really desperate for Ipswich at the moment. Calm down. We are, though. I don't care about Liverpool, Aminal. Oh, calm down, Aminal. Leave, Aminal. Yeah, you're not popular here. You made yourself very unpopular very quickly. What a shame. Down at the bottom there, yeah, very, very interesting. But the only hope for teams like Ipswich and Reading now is Leeds United winning the league. Yeah, more to the point. Yeah, do one, says Rob. We're getting enough fun now. This is not good. Ban him, hey? The annual derby collapse has started already. We shall see how that pans out. But the only hope for Ipswich and Reading, as I was going to say, is that Rotherham get dragged in. You didn't need as many teams at... did you see QPR fans fighting each other? I didn't. I was sitting above them, so I didn't see. Only true club in Liverpool. There we go. Yeah, so we've got some great people following this feed here. None of this nonsense. There we go. So, yeah, as I was saying, down the bottom there, just want to see 6 or 7 teams get dragged into it, giving them hope. How long do you think Hull's form will last? I think they've got Leeds next. So one more game, possibly. Anyway, thank you for all you lovely people watching the stream. Did you see the brawl in the Sheffield United net? Was that one just collective? I never know who's at fault in those ones because the law is delaying the restart. So you would argue that whoever scores the goal, if they're trying to get the ball and put it back on the centre circle, they're not delaying the restart. But the other team, it's their ball, so surely they can't take it off them. There we go. And there's always one team makes a surge. I'm going to Stoke to sneak the playoffs. Interesting. League One isn't so bad, and Lambert knows it. Brian says cheers. But right, yes. On that note, I should get off because I can hear the oven going downstairs, and my parents are due to arrive very, very soon. I loved Happy New Year to Red Dog Hewitt. Billy, do you believe Lambert will stay? Who knows? How long do you think Leeds winning? It did for Cardiff last year, 8 games. Thanks, Nick. Andy, you found us this time. There you go. Happy New Year, Harrison. Thanks. I really love doing these feeds, and it's really great. I try and keep up with all, and they do really appear quickly. So, yeah, we'll put this up on Twitter and probably try and do a preview next couple of days. Thanks, Philip. Thanks, Simon. Thanks, Matt. I am going to sign off there. Follow me on Twitter at Benjamin Bloom. I'll try and announce the next feed so we actually know when we're going to do it. Thanks, Rob. Yes, thanks for the plug for the Blue Monday podcast. And like I say, look, I'm a 36-year-old man. Let's just try and keep it all grown up and have a good football chat there. Do us a favour at Borough, John. That'd be nice. Thanks, GCO4. I am now going to press the button. Thanks for all your comments. See you soon. Cheers, HWOJ. I'm going to hang it up. You are very beautiful. Thanks, Carsten. Right, off we go. Bye-bye.